Alright, almost live, almost done. Just getting set up here. I wish they had a dashboard for this thing that let you see comments across all, like YouTube and Twitch and all that, and that way I didn't need... You know, it's probably out there. I should probably Google it. Because excuse me, as it stands, I have to, like, pop out all my windows, strategically position them so I can see each one, and then if I start clicking on things, I gotta reorganize them again. It's just annoying, but it's okay. It's okay, it's fine. It's fine. Alright. Locked and Loaded 2. Let's go. The most anticipated game of 2016 being worked on in 2021. If I could do it all over again, I would have just made Blocked and Loaded games. If I could. Maybe one or two of the others. So shooting looks decent. It looks fun. I think when you got a machine gun, you're just like firing like a madman and blocks are going everywhere. I think it'll look pretty cool. The one thing we're kind of missing in Blocked and Loaded are the actual blocks. So I'm going to look into today figuring out a way to make the blocks. And so they're going to need some kind of grid system. And then they're going to have to adjust like to the terrain maybe. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it, but we're going to try. The other things we have to work on are things like the lighting of the scene, adding extra lights. Like I was thinking maybe some lights, like fireflies basically coming out of the grass. I think that would look cool. That might be interesting, but I like the color palette on the scene right now. And obviously the walls are not going to stay there. That's just, you know, temporary to keep everything in one spot. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I like it. Alright, so I have to come up with a strategy for the terrain. First, we need a block. And today, you're going to get to watch me try and like figure this out in real time. So it might be fun, it might be terrible. We shall see. We shall see. Oh wait, you guys can hear me, right? Let me double check that. Hello, hello, testing. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Alright, let's do this. So we got a block. We're going to smart UV unpack, repack, scale it up. Zelda Breath of the Wild for terrain ideas. Okay. Thank you, Captain Gunch. Appreciate it. We're keeping it family friendly today. Trying to figure out a way to do my terrain system with the blocks, because I've always done flat ground and terrain, and now adding blocks onto that are like a set size and scale is interesting, because I'm probably going to need to have them clip into the terrain on some kind of vertical grid. Otherwise they'll all just randomly be on the ground and at different heights, and then when you try to connect them together it won't make any sense. Checking out shortly. Yeah, you never know. Someone could be sneaking some time in when you don't know it and watching. You never know. Oh, I got Neko, my bad. Where's that coming from? There we go. You never know, man. I think most of the people who watch me are asleep right now. They'll get up in about 3 hours. we have our basic block. Probably need to get a texture for that bad boy. Let's do the wooden texture. They're the easiest. Goodbye, texture. Ooh, I like you. The oldest is very... Oh, well, let me show you. I'll just play around with it a little bit so you can see. In case you didn't get to see a lot. So, we have our terrain that you can run and jump on. So, we got jumping. And then, if you look over here on the left, this is the, like, the world camera. So, it's not my vision. But you can watch him splashing in the water. Splash. Splash. So he's jumping up and down. And then in first person mode, it's kind of hard to tell that it's happening. But it'll be more obvious when like other people go in the water. And then we got bullets that hit the walls and make little blocks that go flying around. So that's nifty. You can climb on everything. Whoops. You can climb on everything like rocks, terrain. And you can jump outside the world. Ah! I'm still falling. Why am I still falling? So that's always fun. Unique name. What's up, my friend? Good to see you again. Alright, let's do this. We got our block. I gotta do terrain today with blocks, and I'm a little nervous. I honestly don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it up on the fly, but little pieces at a time. So we got our block. There he is. He doesn't have animations. He has as many animations as friends. Alright, great. Prefab, where'd you go, Prefab? What are you up to, Unique? What game you playing today? So, hey, come back here. So if we put our block in our scene, here's the problem that I'm facing. Okay, so we have a block, right? And I can put it down, and let's say I snap it to like the terrain. Okay, so it like sits right there. It sits on the top of the terrain. I do like a ray cast or something. Thank you, Captain Gunch. I'm always here if you need comedy. That's great. Someone clip that. No, I'm just kidding. So if I snap it to the terrain over here, you know, like let's say I use the middle or even the corners. I do each corner. I take the highest one. He's gonna be there. So then how do you get these two to connect? Like how do you make the block in between? You know, does it go there? It's gonna look really weird. Like you're gonna have these issues, and then when you start building them up, they're not gonna be level. So what I'm trying to figure out is like, what's the best way to snap these so they're all together? And so what I think I'm going to do is base it off of like some arbitrary grid that isn't necessarily connected to the terrain at all. And then I'll have the terrain block your cursor, so you can't put a block underneath the terrain, but it'll snap to the next spot. So let's say it's right there. And then all other blocks will be on that same plane. That's what I'm thinking of doing. It just might look really weird when you go to put a block down and it's that high. Or like even worse, it's something like that. And like you can't even see the thing, but it'll snap to the grid so that everyone in the world is on the same, grid. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. It's just, it's not easy to do. I've always done it on a plane where the ground was made up of blocks, and you'd raycast against the ground. You'd be like, oh, that's the ground. I need to go one block above it. That kind of thing. In this case, that doesn't really exist. So I think instead what I have to do is raycast to the ground and then find the nearest location to put the block against that will fit like my rule set. And then from there, if I raycast against a block, that'll be a different scenario. I'll just position it against the block. So that's actually a good idea. I'm going to start writing this down because I'm going to forget. So we want to do raycast against the terrain, raycast against blocks. And in the past, I've used like a grid system. I think for this, it may make more sense to not do a grid. It may make more sense to have every block its own entity, not part of some giant array, which is something I've never done before. So it could be really interesting. It could also be really bad on performance. I don't know. When you use like an array and all the objects are in these set positions and you're just looping through the array, depending on the size of the array, it could be a complete waste of time. So like if I get this giant world and it's got a huge grid on it and 95% of it is empty, I'm wasting a lot of time like checking things and looping through things. Even if I scale it down to just what the player can see, it still could be a ridiculous amount of effort, or like on the CPU. So I think the best way to do it is just to draw them with the Unity engine and not try to develop my own little like system. Alright, so we're gonna raycast first. Let's get to that. But hopefully you can appreciate my problem. My problem, first world problems. Oh, before I brought down the house, I did this thing here. I don't know if this is going to look any good. It might look terrible when I'm done. I'm trying to get like a decaying wood feel, you know? It's supposed to be like an alien world, so like over time the wood decays in a weird way that wouldn't happen on Earth, that kind of thing. I think that looks okay. I'm not that happy with it, honestly. Let me do the other way. I think that's gonna look awful. We're gonna start over. I think the problem is that background. So let me just get like a plank of wood as an example, and I'll base it off that. Wood box. Actually, wood wall. One second. I get so many wrong number calls. Like, what the hell? I swear it's nefarious. They're out to get me. The government's out to get me. Hello, is Lori there? No, Lori's never lived here. I mean, come on, we're using cell phone technology. What are you doing dialing, like by hand, man? I'm just randomly picking browns to try and find one that I like. So that's why the colors are like all over the place. I think I like this color palette the best. We're gonna go with that. And then I'll do like highlights or something to make more of a difference between the colors. Isn't it the best when you get an alarm from your phone and it's like, yeah, I already did that. Ha! That job is done. I don't need the reminder. I never needed you in the first place. That just happened. My, this is tedious. Alright, let's do a copy and paste. Let's cheat, guys. Alright. Let's go. Let's do this. Copy, paste, beautiful. And I'll just scale it. Ooh, the scaling made it a little blurry and kind of did my lines for me, but it looks weird, so we're going to fix that. Let's get some black, and we'll put it at 50%. And we actually need a really tiny brush here. This will make it look like less of a repeating pattern because there's going to be little differences in each of these now. Just from the randomness of my mouse movement. Which hopefully will make the top not look exactly like the bottom. Although if I make something that's really, really different, like this block right there is a pretty big difference from other areas of the picture, that will duplicate over and over again on multiple blocks and look really weird. So we'll have to just see what it looks like in the end and then put it in the game and just hope for the best and then make changes if it's bad. I tend to have to redo images about once or twice. Just because something that you look at this and you go, oh yeah, that looks like it won't repeat, that looks fine, and then you put like 10 of them in a row in game and you see this obvious repeating pattern. It's like, oh crap, I gotta fix that. But I like this. This is coming out decent. And I'm trying to keep it so that all the images have some kind of distinct shading going on that they all share. So every single one of the textures that I've drawn so far have had layers to them. And I think when they all get put together, it looks like they kind of like came from the same cloth. Cut from the same cloth, you know? And probably the most important thing is making sure that they're all the same, like, size and quality. So, like, you know, number of pixels, that kind of thing. So there you go. There's our... Oh, that looks nice! I like that! I mean, maybe somebody will disagree, but I think that looks decent. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's save this. Desktop. Blocked and loaded 2. Wood. Now the colors might be a little too vibrant for the scene that I was working on, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be just right. You watch. Maybe it'll look just right. I actually am really happy with how that turned out. I may be unhappy in a second. Oh, dude, that looks good. That looks like it fits the scene, man. Look at that. Look at that. That actually looks pretty decent. I think it would look better if they were going left to right, like that one is. So maybe I'll rotate the cube here. Let's rotate this cube. Let's see. We got 3 of the sides. So I guess it's not possible to do what I wanted to do. Because no matter what, you're going to have a side that doesn't have... Because these 2 are next to each other, going vertically, so it won't work out. Oh, unless I turn it... Nah, the way they've mapped it is weird. That's kind of weird. Alright, it is what it is. I mean, that's the best one. You got 3 sides that are... I can't do any better than that. That there's 2 adjacent sides. So anyway, all right. Let's work on this defining this prefab here. So we'll go back to models, block model. So I wanted to have a box collider. We'll give it the no friction material. And the collider should automatically be set. When you have a simple object like this, the collider will be perfectly set up at its boundaries, so that's good. So now I got to come up with my raycast and then snap to grid system. So I might have to Google raycast because I haven't done it in a while. Do I have one in here? No, I don't. Let's grab one. Do I do a raycast in Scarlet? I don't know. Let me just Google it real quick. Unity raycast. I'm not gonna remember. You have to have a layer mask set up. That's fine. Because there's going to be 2 different scenarios. There's going to be hitting the ground and then hitting another block. And I'll handle them differently. So if you hit a block, I'm going to figure out which side of the block you hit and just put the new block that you're going to place down adjacent to it. That's how I'll handle it. So I want to do a public vector 3 Because it's going to return the position that you can put the block in. And it'll be find block spot. And so we're going to pass in the position that we're starting in and the direction that we're facing. And then maybe I'll pass in the range that you can put the block down. I don't know. Maybe not. Turn. Actually, 0, 0, 0 could be a valid number. So maybe I don't want to do 0, 0, 0. I could keep all areas of the terrain in the positive. Like my player character right now is at 1, 0, 0. So 0, 0 is over there. If I take everything in my scene and I move it over here, now my player's at 18, 0, 24. So, wait, negative 24. No. I went the wrong way. Let me just figure this out. This is a positive Z. That's a positive X. Okay, got it. Just get in the positive. My guess is right here, 0, 0. Yeah. Okay, so now it's impossible to get 0, 0 as a value, so I can use that as my, oh, I didn't find anything return. Instead of making like something more complicated, that's an easy fix. Okay. So raycast, hit. And what are the options here? You make your raycast variable. If physics.raycast transform. Alright, no, I don't want that. I want position dir. Oh, I could pass in a transform, like my camera's transform. Ooh, I like that better. Let's do that. I could say pose.transform direction dot vector 3 dot forward, and that's just a simpler way of having to calculate it myself. Out hit math f dot infinity layer mask. Oh, I don't want to do infinity. No. Let's do 20. And for instead of layer mask, how about ground mask? All right. All right, so that should, if I pass in the camera's transform, let's call it trans. Oops. There we go. Ooh, I could do a debug.draw. That's cool. I could do that. Alright, we're just gonna call this every frame. And we're going to do it from the camera. Transform. Alright, so now I should see like a little yellow line. Although I don't know if I will be able to see it because I'll be looking directly down it. Alright, we can see it over here. It's hard to see because it's kind of tiny. But there's the line. In fact, at certain angles you can't see it because it's straight on. But there's me pointing at the ground. And if I go up above the ground, there's no pointer. Gone. So I'm hitting the rock because the rock is part of the ground. There you go. I'm looking at the left screen right now. That's so cool. That's so cool. And then obviously there's a range distance, so he can't go further than that, even though I'm still looking at ground. It's only 20 blocks away that he can put one down. Okay, so that worked. That's good, right? Making little progress here. All right. Progress is progress. Now, once I've figured out that I have a position, I need to snap it to the closest spot. And so there's a couple ways to do this. I need to find the modded position. So let me define a size for the blocks. And we'll put it at 2 for now because I forget what the size of these blocks are for real. At full size. It might be 4 if the block's at 100% scale. I think it's 4. I haven't done it in a while. That's the default from Blender, like how big it is. Alright, so we're going to get float x is equal to trans.position.x mod block size sorry, I had to cough. Minus stop position dot x minus, so we gotta get this value, take away the modded value, divided by block size. Right. Do I need to do it that way? I don't need to divide by block size. I just need to subtract. Because I'm not going to snap this to a grid per se. I'm going to just find the nearest position on that grid. So I don't need to find like, oh, this is spot 32. I just need to find, oh, this is at 32 times the block size. Okay. Then I just have to do that, I think, for all 3 positions. Alright, so that's going to give us a position, and then we're going to return vector 3, x, y, z. With a nice little ring to it. Alright, new vector 3. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is start actually using this method to draw or place some block that I'm just going to temporarily use for now. So we'll say game object test block test block is equal to game object dot find. Well, we'll do resources dot load. We'll do it the right way. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot how to do it for a second. I had a little mental fart. I'm sorry. It just happens. Alright, and then I'm going to say test block is equal to the results of that. So test block dot transform dot position is equal to that. Okay, I don't know if I can do that or not in Unity. We're going to find out. Hey, I don't think I can do that. What's the error message? Stop. Oh, does the object not exist there? Models. Oh, it's called block model. Oh, shit. Crap. Block model. Oh, I gotta sit up straight. I'm gonna end up like a hunchback. Okay, where's my block? I don't see my block. We got our test block, and his position is 3240. 0. I should see block model here somewhere, but I don't. I'm confused. Where'd he go? And then when I point up here, he should be a 0. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, that's working. Do I have to instantiate it? I think I know what's wrong. You can't, just because it's loaded doesn't mean it exists. So it's better to just have it pre-existing in this case. Test block. Alright, what's wrong? What are we doing here? Test block is null. Why? Test block game object find test block. It's the exact same name, right? Maybe I didn't save everything. Let's try saving again. Oh, we did it. It's just nowhere near accurate. So I think 4 is too big. 4 is way too big. So let's try a smaller number. So you can see how big it's jumping per spot. It's way too big. That or it's moving to the camera's position, which would be totally wrong. Let me just double check that. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I messed up. It's the hip position. Not, yeah. There we go. Okay, yeah, I was moving it to the player's position, which is wrong. It's not like under here, is it? Alright, so I'm getting a 0 back. He's never moving off of there. It works on the rocks. Is only working on rocks? What's my terrain here? Why is it only working on rocks? My terrain is layer ground. Rocks are ground. Let me try making this a little smaller. Oh wait, is the block instantly blocking my raycast? Like, is the block appearing and then blocking me? No, he's default layer. Okay, so that's not a problem. Let me just do this. Oh, yeah, you can't do this, you idiot. Okay. I just had to see it to realize what I was doing wrong instead of just assuming that I typed it right. I think part of the problem is when you're talking, you like shut off parts of your brain. At least I do. And those are the parts you need to code. Alright, you can't change transform like that. You can't change like the XYZ of a transform without like referencing the whole thing. Alright, now what's the problem here? Is this happening? Oh my god. Be right back. I just got a phone call, and when I answered it, it was just music. There was no one talking. It was just some music playing in the background. Did you guys get my phone number? Alright, 1107. 37 to 42. And the raycast size is 1, so the value returned should be 37 to 42. Instead, I got 11, 0, and 7. Wait, block size is 0? Oh, okay. Let's stop it here next time, and we'll see what the math's doing. So x is 11. So we got 11.2, so x should be 11 afterwards. X is 11. We got 0, that should stay a 0. Wait, why is that a 0? My terrain's flat there? 7.89. 7. Okay, so it is doing that correctly. And then it returns the values 1107. So that's actually working correctly. Probably doing something really dumb. Oh, wait, what's going on here? He's way over there. What is that? Oh look, 1107. That's the position he went to. So that's actually interesting. Why is it always the same? Why is it just flipping between those two numbers? I think I'm misunderstanding how this hit works. Let me read the documentation real quick. Maybe I have to go out the hit distance from the target to know where it hit. Direction of the ray. If true, hit info will contain more information. Starting point of the ray. I don't think it actually returns the end point of the array. Alright, let me just Google that real quick. Unity, how to determine endpoint of array. I mean, not array. Ray cast. Like a ray. Space in between. Array, you specify direction distance to go, so if you have access to the ray, you can find the endpoint by vector t equals player position plus ray direction time distance. Yeah, okay, so that's the problem. So stop. Okay. Vector 3 endpoint is equal to new vector 3, or is equal to hit dot transform trans dot position plus hit dot transform direction I think that's what I need to do. And then just do that. So your position plus your transform times your distance. Okay, hopefully that'll work. That's a C. It worked! It worked! It worked! It worked! It worked! First try! First try! It worked! Oh my god, it's so cool! It's so cool! Look at that. That's so cool. I think I need to increase the block size, but damn. Yeah, it looks like the blocks are 2 by 2. That is so cool. That is so cool. Yes. Oops. Yep, there's the size of the block. Now, the only thing that kind of sucks about it is it's always going to be favoring the negative side of, like, the right side in this case of the block. So if you notice, I'm not pointing over here, but I'm getting the block over here until I go a little further, and that's the midpoint because you're doing a mod. So one thing I can do is say if the mod value is greater than halfway, go to the right. If it's less than halfway, which in this case it is, this actually, this spot in the block right here, this line, that's the midpoint of the block, of this like grid, to determine where to put it. So I could say if it's less than this, put it over here. If it's greater than this, put it over here. So that's what we're going to do now. And if it's exactly on the line, it's going to favor one side over the other. Sorry, I don't have the chat up. Oh, crap. I'm sorry. Captain Gunch, cool beans, cool beans. Thank you very much. I'm happy I brought down the crowd. That was so funny. Why am I still falling? That was great. I was showing the game to some of my nephews, and you know they have no concept of Unity or how it works, so they don't understand that if you jump off the edge of the world, you can just keep going forever. So I jumped off and I was like screaming, and I looked up at the world fading above me, and then I looked down and I was like, why am I still falling? Apparently it brought down the house, so I'm happy about that. I don't know. If you have nephews and nieces, it's really fun. It really is really fun. It's a great experience having a lot of them. It's almost like being a grandparent. You get to like enjoy the best parts of children. You know, but you're younger and more able to run around with them, so it's just a different experience, but it's great. All right. So we want to say if block size is less than block size divided by 2. We want to keep this formula. Else, we want to take the value that comes from this, and we're going to add block size to go forward in the grid. Okay, so I think that's all we had to do. And I'm just going to replace this, and make you a Y. Okay, and now let's do the Z. Oh, and I can't do this first. I gotta get rid of this. This might work on the first try. It might be backwards. I don't know. I didn't think about it in my head, like whether it's backwards or forwards. It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, so now, boom. I'm on the next block. Oh, that's perfect. We got it on the first try. We did it. We did it. Look at how it adjusts to the terrain. Now, obviously, you're going to have weird spots like that where it's like, wait, I put a block down that's all covered. But the reason is so everything will line up. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, now we have to do the hard part of saying, okay, I hit a side on the block. That is kind of challenging. There's a couple ways to do it. Oh, my... Be right back. I muted it. I'm not going to answer the phone anymore. Actually, I might shut my phone off. Someone is, like, deliberately calling me. Alright. It's probably one of my friends trying to be funny, but it's not funny. It's annoying. I literally answered the phone, hello, scam likely. And I heard chewing and music in the background, so it's the same person. It's just annoying. I might put them on, no, that's not worth it. You never know what they're going to say. They could yell the N-word. It's just annoying. People are annoying. Alright. So that's looking pretty good. Now we want to do placing the blocks down. Hopefully this math isn't too crazy. If you guys want me to explain it, let me know. Like to use in your own games. Alright, let's see. We need like a... this was the transform with the terrain. The problem is if I hit another block, you know, I actually don't know what's going to happen. Because the collision, hitting the other block, the collision will be... I don't know if it's going to be just on the outside of the block, in which case it's just going to work. But if it's not, that's a little harder. The way I would do it, I think, is to move back a little bit from the position that was hit. That's how I think I'm going to do it. But let's leave it the way it is for now. And we're going to start adding blocks. So we're going to do public vector3 add block, and we're going to say vector3 position. Oh, sorry, I don't need to return anything. Void if vector3 or if position does not equal 0, 0, 0. So we're not at the origin. Instantiate. I need an example. I forgot how to do it. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Instantiate game object. Block test at position. Oh, it was a test block. I don't want a parent. No one wants a parent. That's what I want. So dot position. Okay, that's what we got. All right. So when I click now, I'll add a block. Well, I haven't done the clicking part, but I don't want held down. It says true during the frame, the user pressed the button. So that's good, because that's only one time. We'll do left click, and we'll do add block. Test block dot transform dot position. Alright. Let's see if now... Ooh, this could be interesting, guys. It may work, it may not. I'm going to left click. Oh. It worked. Okay, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It doesn't... It's not perfect. So I think I just made a block. I made a block on the exact same position as the other block. So that's not good. But I think the way to solve it is when I'm touching a block, go a little bit further behind where the raycast hit. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. All right, what's the... Use default layer. Okay. Oh, I think I can fix this. All right, so let's change the block from default to ground. Let's get into his prefab. All right. Let's paint some happy little blocks. Boop. It's not quite working. So my little aimer's in the middle there. It doesn't... It looks like I'm going through the... I'm hitting the block and putting it exactly where the block is. So I click, And then I go back here, and you'll see we have 2 blocks on top of each other. So I think what I want to do is move back a little bit from where the raycast hit. And it may only be a solution for when I hit the other blocks. If let's do this. We'll do hit distance minus 0.5 F. Whoa. Oh my god, it's hitting itself. It's hitting itself. Alright, test block, you are not part of the ground. That was a little seizure inducing, I'm sorry. Alright, I put it down. Still not quite working. I think it needs to go back block size divided by 2. Minus block size divided by 2. So I'm not raycasting as far, or not creating the block as far. Ah, it's still not working. Is this guy the ground? Oh, he's not. Layer ground. Oh. Oh. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Instantiate ground block. And we're going to say start ground block is equal to resources dot load game object models slash block model. Alright, there we go. So now I'll take on the properties of the block model, which has ground. No, resources, not resolution. There we go. This could be interesting, guys. Boop. Oh my god, it worked! No, I don't like how you can do that. I don't like that, but it worked. It's so cool. I don't like that you can do like a staircase, basically. Oh, maybe it's okay. I gotta maximize on play here so I can mess around with this. I gotta lock my mouse to my screen too. So that's the other thing. You might be able to get like weird scenarios now because I'm moving back on the raycast. I think I'm moving back a little too far. Oh my god, this is like a dream, guys. You've no idea. This is so cool. I know it looks really simple, but it's like Valheim snapping that I just created. That like this would work. Like this would pass for the game. That is so freaking cool. Oh my god, that is so cool. That's so cool. I can get kind of stuck in the block. Oops. But that's okay. This is so cool! This is so cool. Alright, let's get textures on those bad boys. What's the best way to do this? I think I actually do want to instantiate. Well, I could change the material itself. I could save the material. It's that or I have to save examples of the blocks. Where instead of putting the material on the block, I just actually save every block separately. I mean, it's kind of a waste of memory, but the objects are so simple, who cares? Let's see, let's duplicate this. We'll rename it wood block. And let's grab a color here. Slap that bad boy on there. And we'll rename this. Thought I already did this, but that's okay. Wood block model. And then we'll go here, we'll say ground, instead of ground block, we'll make an array called blocks. And we're going to pass in an index for which type we're going to do. So index. Okay. This is so cool. I love this. This is so cool. If you're just joining, we got blocks to snap to the ground, kind of the way Valheim does it, honestly. It's very similar. Alright, so blocks. New. Array of 1. Okay, and then I should have one more error to fix. And we'll pass in a 0. Okay, now we're going to start just plopping blocks on the ground everywhere. Let's go. This is going to be awesome. Oh, they're not the right color. They're not the right block. Okay, but it's working. It's working. This is so cool. I should probably make the block like my helper block a little smaller, actually, or like a faded color, like transparent. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oops. We're gonna make another material here. Transparent wood. So cool. I'm so excited about this. Oops, I didn't put it on the block. There we go. Alright, this will look a lot better now. Nice. But now I'm instantiating transparent blocks. I don't want to do that. I changed block model. But not wood block model, so blocks 0. Oh, that's why. Wood block model. Okay, now we'll be good. I was instantiating the test block over and over again. Alright, so boop. It's so nice. Oh, it's so cool. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Look at that. That's awesome. It's gonna be hard to get that in there, actually. Partly an inconvenience. It's probably impossible. Oh. Oh my god, it's so cool! And it's easy to use. It's like really, really easy to use. I need to make a destroy button. I don't have a destroy button. I have to live with it. Well, we'll do it live. Sometimes when I click, nothing happens. I guess in that... Oh, I'm off the screen. I was like, what's going on? Yes. Yes, we're taking a print screen. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh crap, guys, I was not playing my YouTube, so if you're commenting on there, I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. I think it's going to catch up now, hopefully. That is so cool. Let's put it on the Discord. By the way, if you haven't joined the Discord, check it out below. If you're on YouTube and you haven't joined the Twitch, check it out below. If you're on Twitch and haven't checked out the YouTube, check it out below. Oh my gosh, it just works. We did it. We just put our mind to it and we got it done. And it took like minimal tries, like one try for everything we did. What time did we start streaming? Like, how long have I been live? Let me check. I forget what's the Twitch, how long someone is live command. Uptime. That's it. Uptime. We've been streaming for 1 hour. It took 1 hour to build a crucial segment of the game. I am really happy with this, guys. It looks good. It's fun. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Alright. I'm going to tweak how it works exactly. Let's see. Like, I think I want to do a second array of blocks that is the transparent blocks. I think that's what I want to do. So, do this. We're going to get rid of the whole block test thing. Placement blocks. Let's go here. I'm going to rename this parent wood block model. Okay. Do instantiate game object transparent. I'm sorry, placement blocks 0 new vector 3 0 0 0 new quaternion. And that's it. Now we can delete our test block. And for the transparent blocks, I want to make sure that they're default. And the normal blocks are ground. And, I mean, the other way to do this is to just manually change the textures on the blocks, which isn't... It might not be that hard to do. And I've done it before. But this is, like, this is really simple. At the expense of a little bit of memory, I got it done a lot faster. What's the matter here? Test block doesn't exist. Alright, we need a deletion option. This is so cool! Oh my gosh. And this can be like my map editor. I can run around the map creating blocks and stuff. It's so cool. A little tedious here, but I mean, you really should get above the block. In Blocked and Loaded, originally the way it would work is you'd like put a block down, and then if you raised it to halfway up the block, it would jump up another level, which I might do because it just makes placing it easier so that you don't need like scaffolding. That's something like Valheim does not do. You have to be looking down at the object to put a block on top, whereas except with ladders, whereas with here, I mean, instead of like trying to jump place every block, which would be kind of tedious, I think. Yeah, that's super tedious. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm like really pumped right now and excited. This is so cool. What happens if I start can I blast these things? I can. I can shoot the blocks. That's cool. Alright guys, I think that was a really successful stream. I think we kept it simple and short, and we did our job. We got it done. I'm excited. I want people to be able to easily watch these things, so I'm probably going to keep today a little shorter. But thank you so much. I might be on later tonight. Definitely will be on tomorrow morning as I drink my coffee and code with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck and have fun.